Hello guys, welcome to the new episode of Digital Branded Show. Today we are having Sanadhya Baveja Bhaiya. Actually, I can't say him bro because he's too elder, so I will say him Bhaiya. So is that fine?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so today we are having him, and he's basically a digital marketing consultant, Facebook ad, Google ad, YouTube ad. So you can definitely reach out to him if you have any kind of relatively, and also he has a channel. I'll be pinning those description in my description, and all the links are available in my description, so you can definitely check out that. So let's get straight to this interview with my first question. Bhaiya, actually, we know you on your social media presence, but can you tell us more apart from your social media that you haven't listed, like something little bit personal you?
So I'll try to keep it a bit more professional only.
Okay.
But the thing is, there are other aspects as well of of what I do, basically, which are related to freelancing. Okay, then having right now currently I'm in progress of setting up my own agency, which will be a digital marketing agency. So it will be around video marketing and handling clients who have their specific needs related to performance marketing or social media marketing. So that's what I'm trying to grow into. And there's also one more product which I'll be launching. I was earlier not thinking of launching any product, but I think a lot of people have a problem with how to scale up the Facebook marketing. They know how to set it up, they know everything, the basic stuff, but they don't know how to then scale it up. Okay, because that's the very big challenge for them. They don't know how to take out their ads from limited learning. Okay, they have a lot of problems, and they all know. And everyone, like every course which is out there, tells them about how to set it up, but they don't tell the advanced stuff, which is how to then scale it up, because that's the major problem. That's the major thing. And there are a lot of wrong info. There's a lot of information which is out there, and I just thought that launching this product would help them. It would be in an ebook, and it's going on. I think the first draft will be ready within 2 weeks, and then we'll get that published. So yeah.
Okay, I hope I'll be soon seeing that very soon, because since I'm following you a lot.
I'll be sending you for the review.
Okay. That's great actually. And how it actually started. The next question will be around that. How you actually find that this will be my passion and I will make it as my profession? At what age you actually decided?
So earlier I was actually inclined towards getting an MBA. Later on I realized that getting an MBA or doing something which I wanted to do, depending upon what I want to do, the hurdles in what I want to do are much more than actually doing an MBA, because it includes convincing your family, convincing other people around you, basically, your mindset shift. So you need to have a mindset which is very strong. But MBA, on the other hand, will provide a mindset, or definitely will boost your ego, will boost your confidence, and a lot of other things, but will not be able to provide me that kind of foundation which this thing provides. So initially, when I joined one company and then another, I had a whole mindset, or I had this particular plan that I'll be in this particular field for 2 years. Then I'll go for MBA through ISB or IM or any place. Well, then I gave CAT. I didn't score pretty well. Then I gave for ISB as well. I didn't get through it. And then I thought, okay, fine. If things are going hard over here, and also if I'm bombing the exams, then it does make sense to go for another plan. So that's when I decided, let's go ahead with this one. And I eventually realized that this is tougher than MBA. Like, I could have done MBA if I would have stuck to it and contributed 2 more years of hard work. I would have been able to crack MBA, because I was not that bad as a student. But then I realized that probably if this is harder, then it will help me grow more. Currently, I have a lot of confidence in my communication. I have a lot of confidence in a lot of things which earlier I was insecure about. But MBA preparation did help me with my English, because I was not this good at English. There were a lot of things which were bad about it. Then I did GMAT, and while doing GMAT, I drastically improved my English. I currently know what are the grammatical rules and all the things. I'm not a grammar Nazi still, but I do know how things work. So yeah, that's when I decided. I guess it was by the age of 25 or 24, between 24 and 25, I decided that I want to do something which is other than that. So I got the rejection of ISB while I was in the job, and then I decided what should I do, and then I got fired from the job as well. So then I got fired, and COVID hit. So I won't say that it was because of COVID, because they already decided they wanted to fire me. That's another story I'll discuss some other day. But they decided they wanted to fire me, and Then I left that company in March, and by the end of the March, COVID hit last year. So I decided, okay, fine, let's give it a chance. Let's do this. We have been trying to do. So I immediately went into freelancing. But with freelancing, I was finding hurdles, and I thought, we can keep freelancing on hold, because I was getting most of the clients which were Indians, and they have other kind of mindset, and I really didn't want to work with them, because me spending my time on YouTube or social media would have made much more sense than me struggling with those people. And I'm not saying that Indian clients are not good. Okay, I'm just saying that at that initial level, you don't get good clients who are Indian clients. Even international clients who are not that good, you wouldn't get them. So I started YouTube. Then I saw a trend basically where everyone was asking about digital marketing, and then eventually I thought that I should put out content around digital marketing. Then I realized that I already know digital marketing. I wanted something other than that to explore. So that's when I decided that the content should shift towards YouTube, and that's when I started shifting towards a bit of YouTube. And then you can see the videos after that they do revolve around YouTube and how to grow on YouTube organically as well as inorganically. My major emphasis was inorganically, because YouTube does have this algorithmic jackpot thing where if you are lucky, you will get viral. But I wanted everyone to understand that not everyone is lucky. So even if you are serious and you are there to get some business out of YouTube, you will have to pay money to YouTube. So that's what the whole mindset was. I know I digressed a bit, but this is when I decided and I started doing it. And eventually then I got some freelancing clients as well because of the presence on YouTube and LinkedIn. LinkedIn did play a really big role in my freelancing journey, and that's how I secured a few clients. And that's what I'm doing. And now I have started building a team, and that's what is going on.
So actually, Bhaiya, I can relate this situation with myself, because even though when I started, I quit my job, then I did freelancing. I also face a huge hurdle, because I know the pain of freelancing and handling client, understanding their wants, expectations, many more things. Then I thought that no, I will be serious with my YouTube, and around it is almost a year. Tomorrow I'm completing the first year of my YouTube journey.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
Thank you. So, but yeah, I thought that if you want to be a brand, if you want to establish yourself as a personality, then you should do something unique out of the box where everyone does the same. So, truly inspiring, bro. And most of the case, I can relate myself.
Also, currently, I think you have not that much amount of responsibility also on your head, so you can go ahead and take that risk. Eventually, after 29, it's pretty hard for us to think in that direction, because we'll have a lot of responsibilities, and it already feels anxious. Like I already feel anxious when I think that I'll have these kind of responsibilities, and I'll have to balance those responsibilities with the things which I'm doing already. So
and also coming from a Rajasthan family, it's not easy.
Oh, it's not.
Because even though I'm from Rajasthan, I understand the pain.
It's not totally. Like I do remember the conversation which I had with my parents after I decided that I didn't want to do MBA. Like it was horrible. So yeah, I do understand that.
Because most of the Rajasthan families, somewhat of my audience doesn't know that my father had an own business. He wanted me to come to business. Then I said, my father, give me 1.5 years. I'll do something on my own. If I couldn't, अगर आपका बेटा नालायक निकला तो फिर आपका बिजनेस तो है ही, वरना तो फिर जो करना है वो तो करेंगे. Then like okay, I started my work and here I am.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good. Actually, you're consistent, so that's the best thing. Yes. The only thing I am not on YouTube is consistent. Like
I do feel, because when I saw your channel was at around 4K, I think.
Yeah.
That time I just started my channel. You were around 4K, and some of your actually I got some inspiration from your videos as well, that how to talk fluently. Because at the beginning stage, every YouTube channel, and also I'm a shy kind of person coming in front of video camera and talking stuffs and all. Then I I watched your video, Gary Vee videos, Digital Pratik's videos. Then I okay.
So they both are my inspiration as well. They both.
Yes.
They both are. Like, for example, Pratik, I don't know whether you know this, but I think everyone knows this. People call him Indian Gary Vee, but the thing is, executing that level, it takes a lot of
so much
because
dedication.
yeah, you know that we both are video creators, content creators, so it does take a lot of time. It takes a toll over on your mental health, but it's a good thing that he doesn't give that much amount of he doesn't keep the audience on pedestal, and he does what he wants to, because otherwise if you are going for validation, if you are going for accolades, after one point of time you give up, and you just start thinking probably it's not for the cause, but he kept on doing it, so it was awesome. Baki Gary is an OG, so Gary, I can't say anything about Gary.
He's God.
Yeah,
that's
he's God level. I don't know what he's high upon. He says that he's on gratitude, but there are other things I believe he's high on.
Yeah, because no, after seeing these two personalities, I thought that even if you have 100 subscribers or not even a single subscriber, I want to be consistent. But yes, after seeing them, I have consistently posted 300 YouTube videos on my channel just because of their inspiration, knowledge, the way of talking. Then like, okay, अभी YouTube को ही proper लेके जाना है, तो फिर yes, that's how my journey started. And you are also part of my YouTube journey as well. So if someday I create a huge video of my YouTube journey, then you will be also a single few minutes part.
I'm grateful.
Yes. And the next question which I want to ask you is, even though you have a greater experience in this industry, so one word for the freshers and upcoming creators, those who are actually serious with digital marketing. ऐसा नहीं कि digital marketing का कोई एक सर्टिफिकेट खत्म कर दे कि मैं digital marketer हूँ. ऐसा नहीं. अगर कोई बंदा seriously इस इंडस्ट्री में घुसना चाहता है, तो what will be your vision that whether he should go to job first or start creating content?
I think when we are in college, like if you any college, like if you are going for engineering or if you are going for BSc or BA or anything, they ask for a lot of practical stuff. Like for example, if you are in BA, they'll ask for term papers and you'll have to do that. Okay, if you are in literature or doing honors in that, they'll ask for a lot of stuff which you have to do as an assignment and everything. And the thing is, we have already given them fees, so we feel that it's already included in that. But if you think about it, it's not. The fees is segmented in a way that your assignment also, you pay for that particular assignment as well. So think of it as do courses. I'm not saying don't do courses. Courses are very essential because you need to have your basics clear. If you don't have your basics clear and you just start implementing it, you won't be able to do it. But everyone's way of consuming things is totally different. I didn't purchase single course till 2019. After 2019, there was no stoppage. I'll say after 2018, 19, I have purchased, I guess, courses like shopper stock के अंदर जाके लोग they purchase things. I have purchased courses here and there, a lot of courses, and Udemy is really magnanimous in that they give so many sales. So I have purchased a lot of them. So the point over here is that people need to understand that they are investing in courses. Simultaneously, they need to invest in the practical as well, because while you are in engineering, you have electronics 1, electronics 2, electronics 3. Over there are a lot of very high-end machines on which you have to perform experiment, and then only you go to next class. That's what you will have to do over here as well. You will have to invest in your personal brand. You'll have to pick up one thing, pick up either your website, pick up blog. If you are in, if you are confident in front of camera, then pick up a camera. But invest in that money, use all that knowledge and use it over there, because it would be a very big factor. Because when I was in a company and I was taking interviews, and if anyone at that point of time came up and told me that I have this blog, I am doing these things over there, forget everything. Okay, forget fucking everything. Okay, sorry for cursing, but forget everything. Okay? Forget really everything. Okay, I would have been just asking him about his blog, nothing else. Because the thing is, person would be utmost serious when he is putting in efforts on his own thing. He might not be that much serious when he is putting up on clients or any other thing, but his portfolio would be reflected by the things he is doing on his personal brand. So if you are doing, because in digital marketing, before you are joining anything, every person asks for experience. If you are a fresher, there is hardly any company who would be taking you, because there is an influx of people right now. Even though digital marketing hasn't achieved its maximum potential, it's not nowhere even half of it, but still the supply is a lot but a subpar supply is a lot. Okay, they are not at the level where they should be, and I'm telling you how to reach to that level, which is basically investing on your own personal brand. How much would it take? It would take only 4,000 to set up a website, not even 4,000. If you're good and if you're frivolous and frugal, it will take you lesser than that. But the thing is, invest on it, start doing the SEO, start doing your personal branding, because at the end of the day, everyone, and it would also reflect in the way you are saying, your vocabulary will automatically shift. Yeah, it would improve. It would be like how a business person says, the kind of words I am saying right now and the kind of words I would have been saying when I was in 2016 are entirely different. And that has happened only because I have put in the effort and I know how things work. So I'm just asking you to not only just do the course, but also think how would you be doing your practical classes which you have been doing in your college.
Yes, that was actually, yes, because recently in my LinkedIn I get a lot of DMs that sir kuch kaam milega digital marketing. I want to learn digital marketing. But then later I decided that yes, I can help for them because मेरा पर्सनल ऐसा है कि मेरा ऑब्जेक्टिव ऐसा है कि आई वांट टू टीच पीपल रादर देन कि मुझे इस इंडस्ट्री में पैसे कमाना तो है नहीं. पैसा कमाना ही होता तो मेरा फैमिली बिजनेस है, बहुत सारे सोर्सेस है, बिकॉज वी नो दैट हाउ टू अर्न मनी. इट इज मुझे इस इंडस्ट्री में मैंने सोचा था ठीक है इन लोगों के साथ कुछ करना है. देन लेटर यस आई एम डिसाइडिंग एन इंस्टीट्यूट और एन कंपनी मे बी वेयर आई विल टीच 3 months ऑफ प्रैक्टिकल डिजिटल मार्केटिंग setup लेके. बट unfortunately lockdown I can't call up interns and make them work. So yes, I have 2-3 interns as of now जो लोग एक्चुअली सीखना चाहते हैं. वो बोल रहे सर मेरे पास पैसे नहीं, मैंने तुमसे पैसे मांगे भी नहीं, तुम्हें सीखना है आओ सीखो. Yes, as of now I have like 3 interns. They are working under me, created a group and I giving some tasks every week. Sunday बैठ के Skype पे Zoom पे screen sharing करके काम सिखाना. वो just then I like later yes I can grow this in a large scale. But उसके लिए फिर आपको फिर वो dedication चाहिए होगा क्योंकि because I am doing in 3 to 4 because every content creator do 3 to 4 jobs. He acts like an freelancers, YouTuber, then content creating, then personal LinkedIn पे post, carousels वो चीज डालना तो फिर hardly we will find time. So then let's एक break लेके पक्का इस पे थोड़ा बहुत और काम करूँगा because most of them wants practical knowledge. But yes, as you said, most of the companies reject it because मुझे 60 interviews के बाद 61st कंपनी ने मुझे जॉब दिया. I can still remember that. 60 companies ने मुझे reject कर दिया था कि the fresher we are not going to hire you, we are not going to hire you. And finally 61st कंपनी ने बोला कि salary नहीं देंगे. बस that company thought me that yes, if you are offering value then you don't need money in return. तो फिर वही मोटिव से मैंने स्टार्ट किया. Let's going and let's see how it goes actually. And the next question of this interview which I want to ask is, everything apart from your journey as of now, what are the 2 biggest achievements which you want to list that yes, these are the 2 achievements that I will never forget till the last phase of my life as of now?
Other than the professional one, right?
Or maybe professional or personal.
First one is actually calming down myself and coming in front of camera and deciding that let's do this thing. Second one is taking a stand for myself and not giving into other people. For example, when you are into a job, okay, the highest salary which you can get as being a non-MBA person is 10 lakh. I don't think, like with the 5 years of experience, 10 lakh or 15 lakh, not more than that. But if you are someone who is a freelancer, then sky's the limit. So actually but the change comes when you stand up for yourself. So standing up for myself and talking to clients and putting my foot down that this is it, I'm not going below this. I think negotiating. Actually the biggest achievement is starting to think that I am good enough that I can negotiate. After that, obviously there are books that I read, for example, Never Split the Difference, or there are various books, Pocket Full of Dough. But that's the whole thing. I think these are the two achievements which I feel are there. Other than that, definitely numbers are always there, but numbers are just to keep the track.
Yes.
Like whether you are going in the right direction. That's it. Numbers are not for you must have seen that I never flash my numbers or something. Numbers are just just there for there. Look, it's I remember one so there's Geniopolis basically, and there's a character Geniopolis in Suits. Okay, I don't remember the full name. It was Geniopolis. I just forgot the full name, but he comes in front of Harvey, and Harvey says that we'll push or Harvey tries to bully him. He just pulls out a $50,000 bond in front of him, and he fires it up. He just fires it up, okay, and he says, "Do you think I'm here for money? Money is just to keep the track. I'm here for the fun, which it offers." And that hit me. So I was like, okay, this does make sense, because numbers are just to tell you. Look, numbers are important. I'm not saying that having numbers is not important. It's important because it gives other people validation. It is social proof. It offers a lot of things. But the thing is, it's just to keep a track that you are doing right. Otherwise, I feel the other part is much more important. So yeah.
Okay, so next question will be like, what is your definition of success? That this is the last phase which I want to do, then I'm done. Something like that, or your definition of success?
Success, I guess living your dream life is success. Like if you would have heard the song of Avicii, The Nights, okay, there is a starting line in that song which is, my father told me that you can live whatever way you want, okay, but you'll have to work hard in order to get that, okay. So I think if you are living a dream life which you wanted, because that's what is success according to me. It's not like it's an end goal. It's the whole thing is the thing. ऐसा नहीं है कि like at 40 I'll be like at 40 I'll be happy. उससे पहले I'll crush my soul. Earlier I used to be like that. I had that mentality, but then I realized that it's much more important to start enjoying the whole process, trust the process, and improve. Because once I started seeing the results, I realized that if you are putting in the effort, results will automatically come. You don't have to run behind the results. You just have to believe that you can do it, and that belief also comes with the result. So it's a feedback loop. I do know that, but once you realize that it is happening, then you stop running after the results. Because if you are running behind a cat would run away. But if you show the cat milk, then it will come. So it's just like that. You have to just execute the process in the best way possible, and all the things will be taken care of. So I feel if I'm doing that correct, it's the final goal. And I guess I'm already doing it. So I'm like, I feel like I'm already living my dream life. So yeah, it's pretty much it.
Okay, so last but not the least question of this interview, one secret that you want to share for your and my audience as well. So yes, it may be around any tip or hack or any strategy.
Oh yeah, so I'll tell you. Basically, I feel that this is one of the best hacks anyone can do on any ad platform or anything anywhere. So the thing is, try doing all the things in incognito. Okay, like whenever you are just starting executing anything or preparing any strategy or want to know anything about that particular social media platform or any platform for that matter which is publicly listed, start executing it on an incognito, because the results which will come in the incognito will blow your belief system. Because if you are a liberal, Google or YouTube will show you things which are inclined towards liberal. Okay, it's the machine learning. It's not actually Google's fault, but it's machine learning. They'll just try to reaffirm your faith into those things. So while you are doing a research, it's very important that you are not biased. Okay, so I feel doing all the things in incognito helps you avoid that bias. And when you don't have that bias, then automatically the things which you'll do are would be much more catered to the audience which you might have neglected, and it will give you the insight of an average individual who is there out now. Because you can be on the both side of the spectrum. You can be equally doofus or you can be equally genius, but the thing is you have to be in between. Both of those extremes are not gonna benefit you in terms of monetary or even psychologically. So I think that's one of the hack which I'll say you should do. This is one of the secret.
That's actually a very high level hack that I ever heard in my life. So okay, that was the interview with Sanjay Baveja Bhaiya actually. And how was the experience, Bhaiya?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. You're asking really good questions. Yeah.
Okay. And one
I
word.
hope you keep on doing these things, because people generally
Yes.
do share things which they might have never, because you are, when interview is going on, you articulate things, you have thought those particular things in the back of your head, but you have never articulated those. These interviews give everyone an opportunity to articulate things and put that in front of the world and validate their assumptions or hypotheses. They might be wrong, they might be right, but putting it out there helps them have a clarity in their head as well what this particular thing is about, and also world is there to validate that, whether it's a good assumption or whether it's not a good assumption. So, yeah.
So those are actually really great words. And yes, so that's a wrap on this interview, guys. I hope you like this interview, and if you like this interview, do hit that like button, and the channel of my Bhaiyas and my channel is available to you, and you can subscribe our channel and Bhaiyas channel as well. See you in the next episode with another interesting guest. Till that, get connected and stay updated. Peace.